Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Santa Claus, The Santa Claus 2, starring Tim Allen, of course. Uh, this is a 2002 film. I just realized that just before I started this. And the previous one was from 1994, so this is 8 years later? Yeah, 8 years later. That's quite a gap between sequels. I imagine they did number three, I don't know, too much later than that. But yeah, we have now finally seen the entire Santa Claus trilogy, the Santa Claus trilogy, not counting the new series. But I'll get to that tomorrow. Anyway, this picks up, of course, 8 years later. His son is a little bit older, and Tim Allen is Santa Claus, and he's running the shop. It's like a well-oiled machine. He gets along with all the elves, and David Krumholtz is there as like the head elf. Who else is he? Oh, Spencer Breslin is sort of like a little. He looks like a little kid, but he's a 900-year-old inventor, something like that. So he was in the first one too, right? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, there's no longer any kind of discovery as to what's this whole Santa being a Santa Claus thing all about. He's in his zone. He knows what he's doing. Everything is cool until he realizes that there is a new Santa Claus, and that Claus happens to be the Mrs. Claus. Yeah, he has to be force married. He is have an arranged marriage by Christmas Eve. What could go wrong? So how could that possibly happen? He's got less than a month to find the perfect woman, and well, perfect woman is Elizabeth Mitchell. So you might know her from Lost and a few other little projects here and there, but I know her best from Lost. So uh, could do worse, a lot worse. But she is also his son's school principal, and his son is really acting out. His name's Charlie. Yeah, Charlie. Is really acting out. Everybody seems to like Charlie. Everybody up at the North Pole loves Charlie, but back at school, well, he's sort of graffitiing things and just being a ne'er do well, getting on the naughty list. And, well, the principal, she's kind of hard nosed about all this and tries to find ways of punishing him. And, well, of course, that brings Dad into the picture to help figure things out. And, of course, they butt heads a little bit, but eventually something starts brewing between them, and, well, it goes from there. And I'm not going to tell you the rest of it, because why would you watch the movie then? Because I would have explained it so eloquently that it would replace the need for watching movies. No. I mean, if you like the first film, I'm sure you'll like this. I mean, if you're a Tim Allen fan, I mean, this is, this is, yeah, he's doing this, he's doing Buzz Lightyear, and he's somewhere in the middle of this, he's done Galaxy Quest. So yeah, he's got his career rolling there, and he's no longer doing Home Improvement at this point, but he's certainly making Home Improvement references. I'm pretty sure there's some dialogue. I never really watched it a whole lot when I was a kid, but I know that there's a number of Home Improvement references that he did in the last film, and I think there's some in this one too. So yeah. It's I can't really say anything too much about this, and it's like it's not the greatest film ever. It's not going to change your life or anything, but it is the obligatory sequel, and it does, it has a good feeling, and it has makes you uh, it does what it's supposed to do, but of course it sort of kind of goes off the rails towards the end and moves into, hey, how do we end this? Let's have a big action sequence where, oh yeah, the reason why he's able to leave the workshop at the North Pole while he's got to find a woman and marry her in a month, but also he needs to be running things up at the North Pole for Christmas, a month away. Well, Breslin, Spencer Breslin Curtis, he creates an invention that he can split Santa into two, or he makes a copy of him, but he's very, very plasticky. It's a toy maker. He makes toys, and well, in this case, he's an elf that makes a very human-like toy, but not an exact replica. He looks more plastic, and well, he doesn't really handle once he learns what he needs to do, he doesn't really handle leadership so well. I'm not sure if that reference, the reason for him going a little bit overboard in the boss realm, in a corporation like the North Pole, might be a reference to something. I don't know, but I'm certainly not going to get political in this at all. But considering that Tim Allen's and my politics probably diverge pretty greatly. Anyway, two different directions. Anyway, so yeah, it's we got a decent cast, and Judge Reinhold's back also as the sort of touchy feely, not touchy feely in that sense, like, but more. He's a psychologist, and he has all sorts of ideas on things that Tim Allen doesn't seem to appreciate. But he plays his ex-wife's, Tim Allen's ex-wife's new husband. And Liliana Mooney, she plays a tiny little red-haired girl. She's a daughter of Billy Mooney. You might know from Lost in Space and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, she's a cute little redhead that plays Tim Allen's niece. I keep calling him Tim Allen because that's who he is, but he plays Scott, Santa Claus. Scott, a.k.a. Santa Claus. But yeah, she's adorable in this. But there's you get to see also some other. I don't know. Did we see this in the other films at all? But we get to see. I'm pretty sure we did. I can't remember which one. But we got to see some of the other icons of the holidays and spirits of whatever. We got to see Mother Earth, played by Aisha Tyler. Who else? Kevin Pollak plays Cupid. I'm going to just look at the actual list. It'll make it easier. Jay Thomas is the Easter Bunny. Michael Dorn, Worf from Star Trek: The Next Generation, plays the Sandman. It's just small roles, but it's kind of fun. Molly Shannon makes an appearance as a date, and she gets to be just 100% Molly Shannon in this. So yeah, that's fun. They don't dig into a whole lot of his dating in this, but enough that you get the picture that it's not easy. Not easy. Oh, and there's a ticking clock to all this. Like I said, with if he doesn't get married by Christmas Eve, well, then he stops being Santa. Like, Santa can't be single? I don't know. Either way, yeah, it's the rules, I guess. There has to be a Mrs. Claus. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much that movie in a nutshell. It's not the kind of movie I'm gonna like. Oh my gosh, I need to watch this every Christmas. Yeah, it's not. None of these Santa Claus movies really are. But for some who grew up with them, yeah, this is the thing to do. So yeah, you got all three of them, and you can just blow right into the new series, and which is what I'm gonna watch tomorrow. The Santa Clauses. There's many clauses now, many more clauses. It's a series, a Disney Plus original series, starring Tim Allen and Elizabeth Mitchell and a whole host of other people that I do not know at the moment, but maybe they've recast the kids. I have no idea. Either way, yeah, that's what we're watching next. The Santa Clauses on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you here tomorrow with that.